All
Oh,
right.
I was about to say all right at the same time. All right. Welcome, everyone. Hello, and thank you for joining us for our as yet untitled podcast.
I'm Chris, and I support piracy.
And I'm Jake, and I support only eating steak medium rare.
And yeah, we still don't know what we're doing either.
Not at all. But that leads me to this episode, episode number 2. We are calling Once More with Gusto.
In which we will continue to ramble and goof and hopefully brighten your day.
This podcast is a growing boy, and we can expect to see some new and unsettling things to occur as we find ourselves and fumble around like I just did.
So if you like to help us guide our growth a little bit, you can visit bit.ly/CJ all lowercase, which we will go ahead and just spam in the chat for you. And you can fill out a short little form and give us some feedback.
I'm literally spamming it. I think I'm up to about 10 now. All right. So, yes, please take a look at that link and give us some feedback. Are we ready to go ahead and jump into the show, Chris?
Let's begin.
All right. So, first segment for today is called A Quizzard's First Rule. Chris and I had some conversations, and we felt like there's literally no better way to get to know us other than random, arbitrary internet quizzes to really reveal our deepest, darkest secrets and about our personality.
Yep, so this will be just a little bit different than last time. Not too much different. It was a little rough, but we figured it was worth giving one more shot. This time we'll be taking one internet quiz, the both of us, so you get half the questions and twice the results. That's value for your money. And
Cha-ching!
right? Yeah. Did we mention this is a paid podcast? Just, I don't know, mail us something. We'll get it.
Yeah, we're going to need to put together that P.O. box real fast.
We'll begin a little bit more serious with the subject matter today as we take the What Combination of Bible and Disney Characters Are You quiz.
Which is a lovely combination.
Really makes a lot of sense.
If I may, Chris, I would like to take a stab at a prediction for your results.
Oh, please. Yeah, what do you think?
Even though I've never taken this quiz before and I have absolutely no idea what the results are, I'd still like to take a stab.
The results are a combination of a Disney character and a Bible character.
Right.
So.
And you strike me very much as Moses, strong leader, all those good things. So Moses as well as Mike Wazowski. Both very strong leaders. Yes. Exactly. So I'm going to go with Moses and Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc.
All right. Then I will predict you, Jake, are Samson and Kronk from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my goodness. What a combo. That's like the double fist.
That's right. Just all beef. Like pure 100% beef.
Okay.
You ready to do this thing?
Yes, I am ready.
I'll start us off if you don't mind.
Okay.
How would you fight against your enemies? Would you fight them directly? Would you plan an attack in advance? Use the power of words? Or pray for them?
Oh, man. Okay, so are we both gonna say our answer?
Yeah.
I would use the power of words.
I would do the same thing.
All right. Question number 2. Which of these words describes your personality best? Fun, kind, powerful, or wise?
As powerful and wise as I am, I like to think I'm a fun guy.
I was going to say, is that our own observations? Like, Am I the opposite of humble if I like to pretend that I'm wise?
No, you're the opposite of humble if
I
you say you're the best at everything.
got it. Okay, well, I'm picking wise.
Yeah. Righteous. What type of emotions do you always feel? Because we can all be defined by one emotion. Do you always feel happiness, sorrow, surprise, or love?
We're missing anger.
We're missing a lot.
Honestly, probably sorrow is the closest to what I actually feel.
Yeah, I was leaning the same way, but I think I might go with surprise myself because every day is surprising in maybe a sorrowful way.
Got it. All right. I don't know what question this is, but again, the quiz is what combination of Bible character and Disney character are you? And the next question is which of these Disney animals would you want to be friends with? Stitch, Duchess, Mickey Mouse, or Archimedes? Oh, man. Stitch. Gotta pick Stitch.
Stitch would be fun. Stitch would be fun. Well. I'll go with Archimedes. I like that sword in the stone owl.
Yeah,
Bro.
he's super cool.
He's grouchy, but I don't know.
He has a
He's
cool
cool.
name. Yeah.
He does have a cool name. I'm friends with Archimedes. All right. Now this one, I feel like this should only have 2 answers, but it's got 4. Are you always getting into trouble? Are you guilty as charged? Very rarely. Sometimes. Or no, not at all.
I think we're both no, not at all.
I sometimes get in trouble. Sometimes.
Okay. All right.
I'm a troll.
So you're sometimes. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Would other people describe you as a leader? No, not really. I hope so. Yes, absolutely. Or I'm not really sure.
I hope not. But I'm not really sure because sometimes I land leadership positions that I'm not qualified for and don't really want. So I'll say I'm not really sure.
I am also selecting I'm not really sure.
All right, what gives you power in your life? Is it money, success, friendships, or love? How about punching?
I was going to say, I don't like. I'm going to just say friendships. Sure.
Yeah, the real treasure was the friendships we made along the way.
Yes, sir.
All
All right.
I'll say none of them. I'm success.
There you go.
Success is power.
Are you an inspiration for other people? I have no idea. I don't think so. I hope so. Or yes, absolutely. Clearly, the answer is I have no idea because I just have no idea. I mean, I hope, but I feel like I have no idea is more close than I hope.
I find you inspiring. So
Thank you.
that gives you some percentage of an idea. I don't think so. I don't think I'm inspiring.
Okay.
I think I'm a sad sack. Have you read the Bible? Nope. I can't remember. I've read parts of it. Or of course.
Of course. More than once.
I have not made it all the way through yet.
That's fair.
Can you believe it?
I can believe it.
I read parts of it.
What is your heart actually made of? That is a great question. Dreams, blood, magic, or gold? There's only one right answer for me, and it's magic. I always talk about ascending into wizardry. That is clearly the right answer for me personally.
Then I will go with dreams. My heart is made of unpursued dreams. I would say I get where they're going with blood, but your heart's not made of blood. It's just full of blood. Just saying. If they're going for a literal answer, it should be muscle.
There you go.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how brave are you? Why are these out of order? 5, 1 to 2, 3, or 4?
I'm going to pick 3.
I think that's right, because you're a braver man than me. I'm a 1 to 2. On a good day, I'm a 2.
All right. I don't know
Oh,
that
big
I
ol'.
buy that, but sure. Just because this is a long quiz, I'm going to repeat it again. For anyone who's joining us recently before we started this, this is a quiz about what Bible character and Disney character are you? I don't know if I said that quite right. What
Yep.
combination of Bible and Disney character are you? And we're about, I don't know, a third of the way through. What Bible verse resonates with your soul the most? You are the light of the world. Whatever you do, do everything for the glory of God. Do not be afraid, for I am with you, or you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
It's a fault, but definitely not that last one. Do not be afraid, for I am with you.
And
Right on the heels of me calling myself a coward.
I am actually going to pick you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
I'm a grumpy cynic. I can't help it.
I am too, behind closed doors. That's the difference.
Do you stand up for what you believe in? Of course. I tend to stay quiet about this. For the most part, yes, or it depends on who I'm talking to.
I feel like I know our audience can't see the photo, but the photo with this question is a bunch of people protesting, and I don't think that's necessarily a good example
Mm-hmm.
in this particular situation. I'm going to say, of course. Am I going around waving signs? No, but do I stand up for it? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I'm still going to say it depends on who I'm talking to because I tend to just pick my fights, I guess, and sometimes it's just not worth arguing.
I mean, I agree. I'm the same way, for sure.
Do you tend to listen more than you speak? No, I like to talk. It depends on the conversation. I do a mix of both, or yes, this is very important.
So this one I think is kind of hard because it can be difficult to self-evaluate.
Mhm.
And if I think you're a little bit like me, Chris, where we're both a little bit hyper critical of ourselves. So like my initial reaction is I just want to put, no, I like to talk. But the few people that I have talked to about this, they say, oh, actually, you're not that bad. So I guess I'm going to pick I do a mix of both just because personally I think I talk too much. But I've had people tell me that they don't think I actually do. Maybe they were just being nice or lying to me.
I don't think you talk too much. I
Okay,
think you talk a good amount.
I'm going to do a mix of both then.
All right. I guess I'll say yes, this is very important. I don't know if I actually feel this is very important, but I know to a fault, I frequently don't even get ideas out because I just hold on to them. And
I'm going to
don't
get
say anything.
a little heart-spoken here. Chris, you are one of the best listeners I've ever met in my life. Sincerely. That is definitely one of your strengths.
Thank you. Thank you.
Either that or it's your looks, one of those two.
That's why I'm doing a podcast with you, right? I'm good.
Yes, you equal out the ugliness that is my face. All right. Is there a humorous side to your personality? Yes, absolutely. I'm not really sure. Not really, or a little bit.
Yes. I mean, I said I was fun, so yes. Absolutely.
This is another one of those ones where I tend to think more critical of myself than I am. I don't know if I'm humorous. I'm more just lame, and I'm trying not to be lame. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's that SpongeBob episode where it's like, not lame. That's pretty much me. So I'm going to just go with a little bit, I think.
All right. This is great. This is going to be the best podcast ever. You've got hardly a sense of humor at all, and all I can do is listen. So this will be great. It's just going to be boring silence.
Yes.
Is there a little bit of evil in your soul? Maybe. I have no idea. Just a little bit, or of course not.
I feel like I am human, therefore the answer is, at minimum, just a little bit.
Exactly. Agreed. Maybe a little bit more than a little bit.
Right. Common, unfortunately. Which of these Disney song titles describe your life the best? I'm Wishing from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I See the Light from Tangled. Good Company from Oliver and Company. all in the golden afternoon from Alice in Wonderland. I'm sorry, I was laughing because all I can think about is last podcast when I said Cinderella and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm sorry. I had a hard time getting that one out because all I was thinking about is, you mean like Cinderella? Anyways, it's been a long time since I've watched Snow White, so when I hear dwarves, I think Lord of the Rings. To be honest with you, I don't really remember most of these songs, but it does ask for song titles.
Yeah, just the title. Which title describes your life? You don't have to remember the song.
You go first.
Ooh, I'm torn between I'm Wishing and All in the Golden Afternoon.
What does that mean?
I'm choosing to interpret it as I'm entering old age. This is the golden afternoon of my life, except it doesn't feel golden at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
I'll say I'm wishing.
I'm going to say I see the light because I'm constantly thinking about the future.
There you go. It's right there at the end of the tunnel.
It's right within grasp. And we're getting close. I think we're about 2/3 of the way through. We know this is a pretty long survey, but it will be well rewarded.
Yeah, that's why we're sharing it.
Ha.
So, Jake, does magic really exist in this world? No, I don't think so. Maybe. I'd like to think so. Or of course.
Again, easy answer. Of course.
Of course. Oh, I'm going to go with I'd like to think so. It sure would be nice.
How else do you explain Santa?
I don't explain Santa.
Yeah, neither do I. I have to admit, though, Santa would be a lot cooler if he was a wizard.
I agree.
Much cooler if, like, Gandalf came down and gave presents. That would be much better than creepy fat guy. Anyways, are the rules really meant to be broken? Of course. I'm not really sure. It depends on the rule, or no, all rules should be followed.
Oh, I'd say it depends on the rule, trending towards all rules should be followed, but it depends on the rule.
Man, you know me, I tend to be quite the rule follower in general, but I am definitely a hardcore it depends on the rule, because there are a lot of really bad, quote, rules that are the opposite of what they should be. So I'm going to go with it depends on the rule.
Exactly.
Did I read that one, or did you read that one?
I think that was you. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So, which of these superpowers would you love to have? Breathing underwater, talking to animals, walking on water, or turning water into wine?
I feel like in the context of my life, you know, I live in Texas. We do live, or I live, relatively close to a couple lakes. So breathing underwater and walking underwater would be cool. But ultimately, I think talking to animals would be awesome because animals just have such unique spirits and they identify with you so well. It'd be really interesting to just sit down and like talk to an animal and be like, yo, what's up? You know? So I'm going to say talking to animals.
I agree. If it was turning water into like a nice scotch, then I would choose that one. But I'm going to go with talking to animals.
Very good. Sorry, I keep burping. I'm drinking an energy drink here. Forgive me. What % confident is your inner personality? I'm not even sure what that means, but 100%, 25%, 50%, or 75%. Okay, so before we even dive into this, does inner personality mean like your conscience? Or does that, like, what does that really mean? Because
I think what that means is some people project a level of confidence that they don't actually feel. On the inside, how confident do you actually feel as a person? Whether or not you actually show that.
it's so broad. Like, if you were like, how confident, Jake, are you at dancing? I'd be like -50. If you said, how confident are you playing drums? I'd be like, you know, maybe 75, 80%.
Hmm.
So it's really hard for me to.
If I'm just going based on general miasma of feeling that I experience every day as a 30 something father of a 2-year-old living through a pandemic, I would say 25%. I've got very little confidence.
I'm honestly, I feel like I'm tooting my own horn. I'm going to pick 50 just because I feel like that way I can go either way because it really depends on what it is. And I, you know, it's weird. Maybe this is showing our personalities. As horrible as the pandemic has been, it's given me actually a little bit more confidence that I've been able to do okay. And I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about like personally.
Hmm.
And I feel like a lot of the world has been able to spin this horribly negative thing for positive. So maybe that's more of a glass half full than half empty than confident. But I'm still gonna do that.
I mean, I hear you. I'm trying to do the same thing.
Well, I mean, I think you are. I mean, I talk to you all the time. You're an inspiration.
What did I say for that question? Should I
You
change it?
said 25, but I think that's a little low.
Inspiration question.
Oh,
Yeah. I just generally feel like every decision I make is a complete guess, and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing.
well, you're very
Oh,
good at it.
well, thank you. All right, Jake. Which of these celestial bodies do you feel the most connected to? I guess. Planets, stars, the moon, or the sun?
That's kind of an oxymoron because planets are stars in a lot of ways, just closer.
Are they?
Yeah. I mean, they're just closer, right?
I mean, stars are fireballs and planets aren't.
But
But
how do we really know when you just see a bright little dot? I'm just saying, because like they look like stars. I realize it's not exactly the same, but I'm going to pick stars because it's more dreamy and it makes me feel good. Of which, folks, we are getting close to the end. I know this survey is going long, but we are getting close to the end of this
what's
guy.
going on? Not that long.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say stars too, just because there's a couple songs I like that are about stars, and that's I don't feel any special deep connection to anything in space.
I just got to call it out. Earth, Wind, and Fire. You're my shining star, no matter who you are. Shining bright to see. It's such an amazing song. What do you love about Mother Nature? The sea, the animals, the earth, or the sky?
The hips or the lips.
The answer to that is yes.
Yeah, Mother Nature. I'm not even gonna go there. Let's see. I'd say the sea.
I'm going to say, oh man, I could make so many weird jokes right now. I'm going to say the earth.
Righteous. Okay. Should life be really taken seriously? I'm not really sure. Yes, definitely. It depends on the situation in life. Or of course not.
It's like these questions are like, is it cold or hot? And the answers are yes, no, maybe, or kind of.
Both.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to pick it depends on the situation in life because I think taking life too serious is horrible, but also not taking it serious enough is also horrible. So I'm going to, like I usually do, pick the middle.
I'm going to choose the same, less though because it depends on the situation, and more because it just depends on like what portion of life you're talking about.
For
If
sure.
that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Serious decisions that need to be made, but is it worth being serious about?
Right. In the end, we all turn into dirt anyways.
That's right.
Okay, next question. Which is better, having many friends or having a few friends? Wow, that's not a 4-answer question, but then it gives us 4 answers. Having one or two friends, having a few friends, having many friends, the number of friends doesn't matter to me. Definitely, without any hesitation, for me, it's having a few friends. Chris, you are one of them. I have a select few of my crew. These are my people. I select them very carefully. And it's not that I'm not interested in new friends. I'd rather invest my time in the existing friends that I have and enrich their lives.
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say the same thing, but I'm going to say the number of friends doesn't matter because I think I would be happy having a lot of friends if I found a lot of people that I wanted to be friends with.
That is fair, which purely objectively, I think that's part of the problem. There's very few people that fit the requirements. You know what I mean? Wow, that sounds really bad, but it's also true.
It makes sense. Basically, like the 5 friends I have and everyone who watches our stream.
Exactly. And especially the ones that donate. The ones that donate are like immediate top tier.
Mm-hmm. Best friends immediately.
Yes.
We don't even have a donate link, but we will. So, come back if you want to be friends.
You could donate to mine because I do.
Hey, he's got a link. Okay.
We've got 5 questions left on our quiz of what combination of Bible and Disney characters are you?
What is the best thing to do when you're feeling overwhelmed with life? Handle the situation on your own, take a nap, ask for help, or pray.
See, it's missing my real answer, which is buy Taco Bell. What is the best thing to do?
Experience, right?
Well, I'm going to say handle the situation on my own.
I'm going to say take a nap.
Also a great answer.
I can only handle it when unconscious.
Let's see. Next question. Would you ever be friends with your enemies? Sure, why not? It depends on the enemy. Of course not. Yes, but with caution. Here we are again. It's like asking a question that we just go in circles with answers. I'm going to say it. What?
I said, you mean this is well crafted?
Yes.
This is a deep and insightful look into our psyches.
I'm going to say it depends on the enemy.
I'm going to say, of course not. If they're my enemy, they're not my friend until they stop being my enemy.
Except on opposite day.
What's the first thing that you notice about other people? The hips of the lips. Their personality, their eyes, or their manners. These 3 specific things
or other. I mean, okay. So purely objectively, right? As a human, I think the first thing you notice, I'm assuming I'm looking at them, is what they look like, right? Like, hey, that's a dude, that's a girl, or, that's a whatever they decide to be. So trying to be...
What are you wearing? What are you doing?
Right. What are you wearing? What do you look like? I'm going to pick other because to me, not in a negative way, it's got to be appearance. That's like the first thing, just as a human. It's the first thing you see. That dude's really tall. That dude's really short.
I just walk down the street and I'm like, that guy's gregarious. That guy's a grump.
Well,
I see personalities before I see people.
Yes. Or manners. How do you know their manners if you just saw them? Clearly, that guy has really good like table manners. I mean, he's wearing a bow tie. He must know how to fold a napkin well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are down to 2 questions left. Would you describe your inner soul as courageous? Absolutely no, I lack courage. A tiny bit, or I certainly tried to be.
Tiny bit. I'm a tiny bit courageous.
I'm gonna go with I certainly tried to be.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, the moment of truth.
Do you tend to trust others too easily? I think so. It depends on who I'm talking to. Sometimes, or no, I'm very cautious about this.
I am again going to pick the middle ground. It depends on who I'm talking to because generally speaking, I don't trust others. But if I'm talking to my dad, I'm going to trust him. Or if I'm talking to my sister, I'm going to trust her.
I don't trust anyone. I'm very cautious about this. I'm paranoid.
All right. I got an interesting answer. So, Chris, why don't you tell me what combination of Bible and Disney characters are you?
Oh, you half nailed it, man. I am Jack Skellington and Moses.
Okay, what the heck? I got the same thing. I am
Really?
Jack Skellington and Moses. Okay, so let me read it. You are a person of power and authority, and other people listen to you because of your strong logical skills. You're also charismatic, outgoing, and kind to people, and you know how to lead a team to victory. There's also a determined side to your personality, which means that you never give up on a task. I feel like that does not back up how I answered any of the questions.
Not even a little bit.
All right. Well, apparently we're the same.
Yeah,
We
I
were.
guess so.
I was half right when I gave you Moses and Mike Wazowski, and you gave me Samson and
And Kronk.
Kronk.
Yeah.
Interesting. That was a fun one. I like that one.
That was fun, yeah. That was, I mean, it was fun. That's the best compliment I think I can give it.
Yes.
How did we end up with the same one? Are there only 3 answers?
Probably.
All right. And also, Jack Skellington and Moses. That's okay. I guess they are both leaders.
That's fair.
Well, fun. That was great. So that did run a little bit long. Let's just move right along.
We have a habit of
next
doing that.
Yeah. This unnamed segment, tentatively called the Game Corner. We want to start a segment talking about not necessarily current trending games, but sometimes games that we like, games from the past, games that are performing well, games that are performing badly. We are both gamers, and we want to let you know what we think of that. So, Jake, I know you tried a game called Fall Guys that came out a couple weeks ago. You tried it just a couple days ago. It's trendy right now. Give us your impressions.
Yeah. We'll go with a solid interesting, if I had to describe it in one word. Fall Guys is a very colorful and at first glance kids game, but it's not actually a kids game. It's a self-proclaimed battle royale, I guess. Basically, it's you and 60 other people. You're little cartoon characters, and you essentially are racing through obstacle courses. And you can grab each other, and if you fall off, and basically the goal is there's a certain number of people that qualify and move on to the next round, and it continues like that until you get down to the last person, and the last person wins. So yeah,
Okay.
it's I feel
So
like
it's
it
round.
exactly. I feel like it'd be really fun with friends. By yourself, it's not so amazing. Primarily because the servers are garbage, so you end up waiting 20 minutes before you can actually play a game. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I look forward to them adding more content. I think the only other notable thing about Fall Guys is the price on Steam. I believe it's $20. Do not pay $20 for it. It is probably worth $10. But
You can wait for a sale.
right, and I will say though, there's probably value in that there are so many people playing it right now. So it's kind of like joining the hype train, and it feels good to play when other people are playing.
Yeah, having a robust player network is helpful, although if you're waiting that long to get into a server, I'm honestly, if they're having that many issues, I'm surprised it's doing as well as it is, because, bad matchmaking can be a game killer, that's for sure.
Certainly is for me, which is why if you watched me stream a couple days ago, I forced myself to play for an hour, and literally probably 40 minutes of it was just waiting. So I think you would enjoy it, Chris, if you were playing with some, the dudes.
I might. I do enjoy movement games. Not necessarily racing exactly, but you remember the Mirror's Edge games?
Of course, yeah,
yeah.
Freaking amazing, and also just got to call it out, at least amazing, like awesome, badass female lead character, which is that was done really well, not cheesily.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. One of my favorite games of all time. Not looking at this game, I'm sure it doesn't have that same fast-flowing, bouncing off walls parkour feel. But yeah, it's that almost platforming style is fun. It looks definitely like it's got potential. I
Lots of purples and blues, and again, it looks like a kid's game at first glance, but it's actually much too complex to be a kid's game to some extent.
All right. Looks like we got some obstacle course action in there.
Yeah.
Well, neat. And they're already selling costume packs.
Yeah. Oh, you can be a pirate or a thing of French fries. That is always a plus to this this modern era of gamers. You and I are a little too old for it, Chris, because back when we played games, there were no cosmetics. But in this day and age, who
Or
doesn't?
they were all unlocked through hard work.
Right. Like actually achieving something. But I mean, I have to admit, it is kind of fun to be running around as a thing of French fries instead of a generic pink blob.
Right. Well, you know what? Call me when you can be a nacho cheese chalupa, and I'll give it a try.
Now that is the game for me.
Right on. Okay. Well, I would say it looks interesting. I'll probably give it a shot at some point, but I will also probably take your advice and wait for a sale. Sound about right?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Okay. Well, then that's the meat of our little game corner, and we're going to wrap this up with a mini game called
Name the game. Sorry.
So. It's all good. In this game, for this round, Jacob has chosen a character, a famous character of some sort from a video game, and we're going to just play a little guessing game. He's going to give me clues. I'm going to try to figure out who it is. You're just going to have to trust me that I don't have any idea what he's chosen. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fun, right? I mean, clearly, we're not planning any of this. Why would I know what he's going to say?
And I will say, I am picking a character that I know Chris is aware of. It's not necessarily, I think we're going to just give it a shot and see how it goes. Okay? All right.
Let's do it.
And I might, depending on how much trouble you're having, I might even give a little bit around the plot of what this character is in the world and stuff. Okay. So,
I've got my mental canvas ready. Give me the details.
All right. I'm going to give you a nice Bob Ross painting with my magical words.
Right on.
So, this is very much a cartoon character. Okay. So not human or anything like that. Very much cartoon. They have this character has striped arms, legs, and nose that is long and pointy. It is a he, and he wears very neutral clothes. He's got pretty big eyes.
And striped. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay.
You already know what it is?
I think I know. It's striped
right.
arms, leg, and nose. I'm going to say, Robert?
It is. Look at that.
From the Inner World.
Yes, sir.
Point and click adventure, the Inner World.
Yep.
Main protagonist, Robert.
Yes. An amazing character.
Amazing character, amazing game. No one ever loves him. No one ever will.
Except for the people playing the game.
Yeah. Universally, everyone who meets him.
Yes. Now, I am just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do nearly as well as you just did. You did exceptional. So,
hey.
All right. I'm ready for failure. Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to look up a reference image real quick. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Or do we want to move on? I know we've gone.
That went real quick. This will go real quick.
Okay.
Too. Okay. Also, I'm sure you and probably a large portion of everyone who's played a game has met this character. Let's start off with, it's a female character.
Okay.
She is a human woman.
Okay.
She wears orange and white clothing.
It's the lady from Portal.
It is the lady from Portal.
And I don't know her name.
Yep, you got it. That was quick.
That was very quick. I was just like...
A mini game.
Yeah, that's good.
Right on. Robert and Chell. We got it.
What is her actual name?
Chell.
Chell.
Short for Rachel.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. They do that Topher thing and pull that end half off instead of the first half for a nickname.
Very good. Okay, so
That was Name the Game.
Name the game. Okay. So moving on from our gaming segment, we are going to move into segment number 3, which is hypotheticals, which is a repeat from last week. We got some positive feedback that people did enjoy that. In fact, Chris and I are taking this one step further, and we are going to use a hypothetical that was provided to us by a fan. A fan named Tim provided this hypothetical. So I'm going to start out by asking Chris the hypothetical, and then we're going to have a conversation about it, why we would choose what we would choose, and hopefully lead to some interesting banter. So the hypothetical situation, Chris. You must switch to one of the following 3 careers until retirement. What do you pick? A truck driver, a farmer of a small farm, or a factory worker?
Okay.
And I'm assuming this means, you retire at 65. It doesn't,
Right.
specify.
Standard.
Yes.
I can't say I want to be a truck driver, but I find a buried treasure and retire at age 35.
Right.
Truck driver, small farmer, or a factory worker. I would say it would depend on the factory, but I mean, factory work is factory work. I've been there. It's not fun. I don't know. None of these sound very fun. This is one of those hypotheticals, huh?
I mean,
A hard choice because you don't want to do any of them.
I feel like for me, if it's easier, I can jump in. It's a no-brainer, farmer, because I like landscaping, I like flowers, I like plants, I like growing things, I like hardscaping, building timber walls and stuff. I feel like for me that would fit the most natural. I do enjoy driving, but I don't think I would enjoy driving 18-wheelers. And factory work, I have no experience with, but I don't think I would like it unless it was like, I don't know. I'm trying. I can't even think of one that I would enjoy.
Like party factory where you assemble and experience parties.
Or if you worked at like a factory that makes food and you're just the taste tester, that would be pretty
Quality
nice.
control specialist.
Let's say quality control analyst. It's a higher level of pay than specialist. I will say, though, factories probably have the best unions. But truck drivers make good money. Truck drivers make good money. So.
Oof. Yeah. The situation. I mean, with the kid, it's a little bit different. I would not want to be a truck driver. I would not want to spend that much time away from home. That's for sure. Although the actual like isolated long drives, throw an audiobook on and just go, like format does appeal to a certain degree, but that much time on the road is too much. And like I've said, I've done a stint as a factory worker, and it's monotonous and soul crushing, and I'm glad that's over. So I think I might have to say farmer as well. I mean, I'm not necessarily one to.
I mean, plus you get to yell at the neighborhood kids to get off your field and stuff and throw pitchforks and...
That's true. The more property that you have, the more you get to throw people off of your property.
At least that could be fun. Shoot guns into the air and stuff. We all like that.
That could be fun.
So pretty unanimous then. Farmer seems like the best choice.
Sounds more rewarding.
For sure.
Working the earth, growing the crops. We almost started a garden this year, and then it didn't happen.
See, I actually think one of the coolest parts about being a farmer is if you did cattle, because then you actually know where your meat's coming from. I couldn't be a butcher, I don't think. But like, let's say I had a local butcher. If I grew the animals and, I knew exactly what they ate, where they came from, you're going to get much higher quality, none of the extra garbage that our current, mass-produced systems have. So I think that would be, at least for me personally, someone who likes to cook and stuff, that'd be a huge benefit.
As much as I do love meat, I really do, and I don't I mean, I'll always eat meat, but I also am a softie with a weak constitution, and I don't think I could even raise cattle to be butchered by someone else. I would have to rely on eggs and dairy.
It would be really hard. It would be really hard, especially because so
Mhm.
many of them have personalities. Um, but
Unless I just verbally abuse them every day to make myself distance myself.
I feel like I might be able to swing it with chickens because chickens, although they have personalities, I have some friends that have some. They definitely have personalities. They're much more. I don't. They're just dumb, to be honest with you. So you don't like. That sounds stupid, but you don't feel as bad. Whereas like cows, literally like will come up and snuggle you.
I've heard that before. Chickens
So
seem a little bit more soulless.
okay, pigs only then, because at least they're dirty. We'll go with that.
Good. All right. Pig farm. That's the answer.
I do prefer pork.
Wonderful. Well, that was a fun little hypothetical. So we're going to move on to another new segment.
I am very much
Untitled.
looking forward to this, by the way. Audience
Yeah,
should be as well. This is going to be good.
this might be good. Let's let's reserve expectations until we actually get into it. This is Untitled Spot the Fake Quote Game. That's what we're doing. We have each prepared a series of 3 quotes from fiction in general and have obfuscated them with 2 changed, incorrect, fake quotes. So we're going to take turns reading quotes. We'll give a little bit of background about who's saying it, the situation they're in, what property it's from, and give your 3 options, and the other one has to choose which one is the real and true quote.
Chris, I
Make sense?
realized one of mine is not fictional. I'm sorry.
You know what? You're fired. But no, it's fine.
My bad. My bad. Okay. You want to go first?
Sure. I'll go first. Sounds good. Okay. So my first quote is from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
The movie
No.
or the book?
It's in both, but I'm going from the book.
Okay.
The movie's great, but it's from the book. So this quote comes from the character Slarty Barkfast, who is a planet designer from the planet Magrathea.
Magrathea.
Yeah. This quote is in relation to being told that he is not allowed to put fjords on the continent Africa on a new Earth Mark II. He's been assigned designing Africa on the second planet, and he wants to put fjords all over it because that's what he did in Norway in the first Earth. And he's told he's not allowed. And he goes on a little rant, and he ends it with one of these 3 lines. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Does he say, I'd far rather be happy than right any day? Or, I'd far rather be angry than wrong any day? Or, I'd far rather be depressed than a human any day?
Ooh. I think I'm going to pick option 3.
Rather be depressed than human?
Yes. That sounds like something he would say.
You are incorrect.
Dang it.
Oh.
What
It
was
is
it?
Far rather be happy than right any day.
That also sounds like, in all fairness, they all sound like him, but nice. I like that. That was good. Okay. So
All right, hit me.
I'm going to hit you with something much darker. Okay. So my quote is from the movie Unforgiven. It's a Clint Eastwood Western. Tends to be a
Okay.
pretty serious movie. He's not playing the man with no name character, but it's similar to that. So the movie Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood plays an old angry cowboy who used to be this like murderous evil guy, and his wife died, and one of his old buddies, they get together and they go out looking for stuff. And anyways, the story is him and his buddy. So the main character's name is William, who is played by Clint Eastwood, and his buddy is Ned. And they're getting into shenanigans, and this corrupt sheriff really goes to town on Ned and ends up killing him. Okay. And so the context here is William is talking to the corrupt sheriff named Little Bill. Okay. So here are your.
Ned.
Yeah, after he's hurt Ned. Exactly. So here are the 3 quotes. I've killed women and children. I've killed everything that walks or craws at one time or another. And I'm here to kill you, Little Bill, for what you done to Ned. Option 2. I've killed innocent men and women. I've shot everything that walks or runs at one time or another, and I'm here for you, Little Bill, for what you did to Ned. And option number 3, I've killed young and old. I've slaughtered everything that walks or breathes at one time or another, and I'm here for you, Little Bill, for what you have done to Ned.
All right.
Making that one difficult on you.
That's challenging, and I'm not familiar with the movie, which is okay because that was a good synopsis. I'm getting a feel for him, and I know Clint Eastwood.
Angry cowboy who's old. It's like very old, and he's sad, and that's part of the reason he's so angry because he's sad.
I'm gonna guess option 3. I've killed young and old.
Good guess, but incorrect.
Shoot.
The correct answer is option A. I've killed women and children. I've killed everything that walks or crawls at one time or another, and I'm here to kill you, Little Bill, for what you done to Ned. But that was a good guess.
Well, they were all good options, so I would call any of them a good guess.
I feel like that one was pretty hard. Some of these other ones are easier, so.
All right, this one will be harder for you.
I'm ready. I'm ready for failure.
Quote number 2 is from the movie Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Love the Bomb.
I don't think I've ever seen that, so it'll definitely be difficult.
That is all right. Honestly, it's been a while since I've seen it. The movie is a black comedy from the 60s, like 64, 65.
Okay.
A lot of people think it's one of the best comedies ever made. I think it's good.
Okay.
Depends on what you're into. It's very, very dry, but very funny. Dr. Strangelove is a former Nazi and a nuclear war expert who is being consulted as tensions are rising between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. And a large portion of the movie takes place in a war room, in a meeting with military leaders and the president of the U.S., discussing these tensions. And at one point, it's revealed that the Soviets have a secret doomsday device that is set to trigger if they are ever victims of a nuclear attack and will wipe out all life on Earth with some sort of radiation storm.
Okay.
And
very doom and gloom.
Very, yeah. Oh, yeah. It ends with, yeah. You should watch it sometime. I won't tell you what it is. Do that. Why would I stream what it ends with? It's an old movie, but watch it if you haven't. So they're asking Dr. Strangelove, this former Nazi nuclear war expert, about this doomsday device. Is it possible? Is it real? And in response, he says, yeah, it's totally possible with the technology that we have. You could do it this way, you could do it that way. This is how you could rig it. And then he ends his little speech with this line. Is it the whole point of a doomsday machine is lost if you lose the keys? Is it the whole point of a doomsday machine is lost if you can't turn it off? Or is it the whole point of a doomsday machine is lost if you can't keep it a secret? Or if you keep it a secret?
So it was keys. What was option number 2?
If you can't turn it off.
Keys can't turn it off, and then
if you keep it a secret.
Based on his background, I'm going to go with option number 3.
If you keep it a secret, you are correct.
Yes.
That is
yes. I got one. Excellent.
You got it. The whole point is to
tell someone.
It's yeah. What's the word? I'm blanking.
Threaten people.
Yeah, making sure no one attacks you because they know that they're all going to die.
Exactly.
And if they don't know they're going to die, what good does it do?
Very good. Okay, my next one is very short. So the scenario that I'm giving you here for this quote is Halo Combat Evolved, the original Halo, and
Excellent.
this is a Master Chief quote. And the
Okay.
situation is you are on a ship with Cortana, and you are first entering the Alpha Halo's atmosphere, and your ship is going down really hard, and you are standing on your in the middle of the ship, and Cortana, who is the robot friend or computer, suggests to Master Chief that he takes a seat because the ship is going down. And instead of that, Master Chief stands even taller, grabs one side of two chairs, exactly, very heroically, and he says one of these three things. Option 1, will be fine. Option 2, should be fine. Option 3, everything will be fine.
Man, he is a quippy one-liner man of few words, that's for sure.
And this, at least for me personally, is one of the most when did Halo 1 come out? Years and years ago. This was a very iconic moment for me. When I go back to it now, it's like, wow, this is kind of lame, but it always stuck in my head as like one of my favorite Master Chief quotes.
Imagine you're going down on the Halo for the first time.
Grab either side. Cortana's like, "Hey, sit down, bro," and you're like,
F that. We'll be fine.
"That is correct.
All right.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine." That is the correct answer. Now, did you already know that one, or did you just guess?
I just guessed. That sounds very Master Chiefy. It's been forever since I've played Halo, but all his lines are just
Very
pure badass in the face of danger.
Yes. So we're both 1 for 2 on this. Do we want to hit up our third ones?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Real quick. Okay. This one will require a lot less background, because I would consider this practically universal knowledge. You are familiar with the character of Dumbledore,
Yes.
as of Harry Potter fame.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Dumbledore is delivering wisdom on the children of Hogwarts, and he says one of the following three lines. Does he say, "Happiness can be found even in the saddest of times, if one only remembers to smile"? Or, "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to turn on the light"? Or, "Happiness can be found even in the most ominous of times, if one only remembers to forge one's own destiny"?
That sounds like Gandalf. What was the first one? I'm sorry.
Happiness can be found even in the saddest of times, if one only remembers to smile.
Okay, that's the one I think I wanted. Option A. No.
Close but not cigar.
It was 2?
It is only in the darkest of times, if you remember to turn on the light.
Dang it. Yep. That sounded too simple. Because, look, I'm clearly a Lord of the Rings fan, but Dumbledore is a pretty awesome wizard, too. Like, he's not my favorite, but he's actually very legit. Like, I have to give credit. So, my fault, Dumbledore. I thought you would say something more wizardy sounding than turn on the light. My B.
But then he does cool little stage magic and waves his hand and makes a candle
Right.
light. So.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Right.
So my last one, I apologize. This is not fictional, but it's one of my all-time favorite quotes. And I also kind of wanted to troll you a little bit because you're not a big sports guy.
Troll me.
This is football related. For any of you that watch football, you will love this. So this is quoting a very famous coach named Bill Belichick, who,
I've heard the name.
yes, he ran the dynasty with Tom Brady for the Patriots. It was
Probably an overweight guy, right?
What?
Probably an overweight white guy.
I don't know if he's just old. He's old. So Bill Belichick is famous for being really sharp with words or short with words, excuse me, and just kind of angry. Like he does these interviews with the press, and they'll be like, "What'd you think of the game?" And he'll be like, "Great." He's very short, and he is very direct, and he's basically, to be honest with you, he's a meme. He is literally a meme because he does not take crap from anyone. And it's also hits near and dear to me, and it should you, because he was originally a Browns coach, and then they decided to fire him, and then he went on to win a bazillion championships and arguably one of the best football teams to ever be put together. So, of course, that would happen to Cleveland. So anyways, here's the quote.
Story of unrecognized talent.
Yeah. Yep, typical. So here's the Bill Belichick quote. The question was basically asking him about how he feels his players being on social media. Is it a distraction do you, as a coach, do you allow that kind of stuff? Do you think it distracts your players? So and this is a little bit of a longer quote, so I'm going to read it a little bit fast. One of these three things. As you know, I'm not on Snapface and all that, so I don't really get those. I'm really just worried about getting our team ready to go. I'm not really too worried about what they put on InstaChat or whatever it is. Option 2, as you know, I'm not on InstaFace and all that, so I really don't get those. I'm really just worried about getting our team ready to go. I'm not really too worried about what they put on FaceSnap or whatever it is. Option 3, as you know, I'm not on FaceGram and all that, so I really don't get those. I'm really just worried about getting our team ready to go. I'm not too worried about what they put on TalkSnap or whatever it is. So one of those three, and this got so famous because he actually did say one of those.
Oh, man.
So in summary, it's basically the names of the social media. Well, do you want me to give you a summary?
Yeah, just give me the two.
Yeah. So it's Snapface and InstaChat, InstaFace or FaceSnap, FaceGram or TalkSnap. Because that makes it so much easier.
I really like the sound of Snapface. That sounds good, but something about the second option where face is in both of them.
Yeah.
That's calling to me. I'm going to go with option 2.
You should have went with your gut. It was option 1. So
shoot.
It was Snapface and InstaChat. I have to send you the video after our podcast because it is just, he's like very stern looking guy and just, it's so funny. Absolutely
Fantastic.
Love it.
That's great. All right. Well, you know what? Our first segment may have run a little bit long, but I think we're doing pretty well now.
Yeah, I think we're doing okay. And the rest of these are pretty quick. So, all right. So that ended our quotes segment. Just as a friendly reminder to all of our listeners, if you have any feedback about these segments or just feedback in general, Chris and I will post a link to a Google form in the Twitch chats. We beg you, we plead, please fill this out for us. We'd love to hear your feedback, especially when we do new segments like that. I personally really enjoyed that. I hope Chris did as well. I think that was pretty awesome. So yes, and there is a section. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We just need to know if it was fun to watch is all.
Right. And there is a section to the forum that's an open-ended. You can just tell us whatever you want, like Jake is ugly, Chris is handsome. Those kinds of things are welcome as well.
Yes. Liars are our favorite fans.
Yes, as long as they donate. That's the most important thing. Or, promote our Twitch channels so we can get to the point where we can actually take subscriptions. Anyways, I digress. So our segment number 5 for today's podcast is our titled, What You Been Eating? And this is a new segment. Chris and I love food and wanted to try to incorporate some food into the podcast.
So it's pretty freeform at this point.
Like freeform jazz.
Yeah. So that's how you know it's good. If we don't sound like we know what we're talking about, that just means we're at a whole other level, right?
Yep.
It's not what it means. So Jake, you were telling me about these delicious ribs that you've made recently, and I've never made ribs, and I would love to hear all about it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm already drooling. I love barbecue ribs. I don't know that I would call them my favorite food, but growing up, they definitely were one of my if not my favorite, one of my top 5 favorites ever. Which is interesting because I grew up in Ohio, where no one really does a whole lot of ribs. Now that I'm in Texas, I have been enlightened to some new methods of making barbecue ribs that I don't want to get anyone too angry, but I do think the Texas ribs are better than the Ohio ribs that I've had. I'm not going to compare Missouri barbecue or Tennessee barbecue because I don't want to start mass riots, or do I?
You know what? We're not in the South, and we've got no claim on any form of barbecue. So dunk on Ohio all you like.
I mean, yes.
There's a lot of great things about Ohio, but we're just copying when it comes to barbecue. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh man, I do love the Northeastern Ohio pizza chains. Anyways, so barbecue. So I had a friend, also from Texas, a coworker, recommend that. So I did pork ribs, not beef ribs. Pork ribs, and there's a particular cooking method called the. Why did I already forget? It's the 3-2-1 method. That's what it is. Sorry, my brain was having a hard time. It's late at night, I guess. The 3-2-1 method, and what that basically is it's smoking your ribs. Okay, so it's being cooked via a smoker. So start the fire with charcoal, and then ultimately you put wood and wood chips on it, so the meat is cooked by cherry or whatever. And the 3-2-1 method is it's 3 hours of your ribs wrapped, 2 hours of your ribs unwrapped, and then 1 hour of sauced. And you just flip it every 15. Now, throughout all of this, I'm flipping it every 30 minutes and spritzing it with like a apple cider vinegar and apple juice spritz. But anyways, I finally made some. They came out really well. I was very happy with them. And what I love about ribs is I like doing my own dry rub, right? And you can do your own dry rub of a variety of different, however you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the beauty of ribs, and it's always good. So I highly recommend those of you, if you don't have a smoker, it's worth it for at least ribs.
I believe it. A smoker can be... It's a long process, and it can be a lot of maintenance, but the results, they're tasty, that's for sure. I've never made ribs in a smoker, but I've smoked a few things. I'm going to have to try that sometime.
You should.
What's in your dry rub, Jake?
I'm sorry, what?
What's in your dry rub? Give us your secret recipe.
I'm honestly trying to remember. Okay, so...
It's whatever sounds good at the moment, right? You trust your chef things.
Yeah, literally my I'm not a chef. I'm a wannabe chef, so I'm a cook. So, okay, there's tons of salt, tons of pepper, the standards there. And I also like to rub my ribs with a little bit of oil first so that the dry rub sticks a little better. So, salt, pepper, brown sugar, for sure, smoked paprika, garlic powder, of course, a little bit of onion powder, oregano, takes it up a notch, cayenne pepper. And if you want to go really more spicy, you can do chili flakes or chipotle chili pepper. If you want to get crazy, you can do some Cajun seasoning, like a seasonal stuff. What am I forgetting? I think that's the general gist. So, the very classic barbecue flavors: smoked paprika, garlic, salt, pepper. I did a little bit of mustard powder on this particular recipe that I actually really liked how that helped develop the flavor. And of course, the dry rub is super important. Like, you could make it with just the dry rub, but also the sauces. So I used a variety of different sauces. I have not dived into making my own, which is why, again, I'm not a real chef. But that's kind of the general gist of my dry rub.
I've been wanting to do a homemade barbecue for so long and just still haven't done it. It's a little intimidating, I guess. Every recipe I find starts with ketchup, and I just don't know about that.
Well, exactly. And here's the other thing, right? I'm pretty fierce on that homemade is, generally speaking, always going to be better, right? But when it comes to certain sauces and stuff, I know there's a lot of extra crap in them, but sometimes they're just really good, right? And it's just like there's a reason people do sriracha mayo or sriracha this or sriracha that because sriracha's really good already. And so sometimes it's okay to just, people have spent their whole life or generations developing a sauce. If it's good and you like it, why not use it?
Exactly. Sorry, I've got vibrating phones all over the place right now. Felt like I should probably specify phones, not just leave it at vibrating.
I'm glad you specified for sure. So anyways, yes, ribs, very good. Make sure you rotate them. Another controversial opinion. I know this is going on a little long, but that's okay. I know ribs technically are overcooked when they fall off the bone, but I like my ribs. Literally, you can just pull the bone out. That's just me personally. Some people prefer. It's technically overcooked. Technically, it should stay attached to the bone, but it gets stuck in your teeth more. I prefer it literally just like falling off the bone. That's just me.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Making all the real
tender.
Yeah.
The one situation where cooking it more makes it more tender. That sounds awesome to me. Yeah. Here's a question: do you ever f with coriander?
I have, but it's been a long time. It's been a really long time.
I really like it for stuff like barbecue. I don't see it often in like barbecue recipes, but it's got a real nice citrusy sweetness to it.
For sure.
I think works really well in rubs and sauces and stuff.
I think you're inspiring me. I'm gonna have to go buy some coriander. That's not a superly common used thing either.
It's not. I'd forget what we even got a bottle for years ago, but it got me hooked. So it's good stuff. Just came to me while you were talking.
No, it's a great idea. I have to hold my tongue because I'm like, oh, well, one of my secret things is this, but now we're just going way off of barbecue. So, but yes, I will try some coriander. And in terms of barbecue, yeah, smoking, at least for ribs, is the way to go. And plus, what's great about it, just one other thing to add on, anytime I smoke, I always throw some sausages on there too. You just can't not do it, right?
I'm the same way. Whenever I smoke or grill, it's like I'll do the meal, but make the most of the coals and the wood while you've got it going.
Yeah,
for sure.
Throw some extra, jalapeno cheddar sausages on there, and it's already smoked and good and yummy, and have some sausage and eggs the next morning.
Yeah, I'll probably bust my own smoker out here in the next month or so as the weather starts to get a little bit cooler. That's when I like to do my smoking. Yeah. And I will make ribs my next recipe, and we'll see how that turns out. Because I do like ribs, but it's like a lot of barbecued meats, at least in my experience, it's one of those things where on the spectrum of bad barbecue to good barbecue, like a large portion of that spectrum is unacceptable.
Agreed.
And bad. And it's just this top sliver where it's really good, that it's really good.
And honestly, I'm not going to beat around the bush, Chris. The reason for that is because it's easy. It's way easier than smoking a brisket. Smoking a brisket, for example, is really difficult to get right. Ribs, it's not that hard. Yeah, ribs, it's not that hard. It doesn't take that long. And I just feel like the ultimate sin that I've always had with bad barbecue is it's literally like, here we cooked this meat, we didn't season it, and then we just threw some sauce on it and gave it to you. It's the ultimate unforgivable.
Barbecue.
No, it's not. But I think that's why. I think that's why you see way more ribs. It's just so much easier and less intimidating. Like, I haven't even done a brisket myself. As you know, my brother does, and he's been doing it for years. But that's intimidating. Very intimidating. You got this 13-pound chunk of meat.
Well, you know what? For one of these food segments, let's get his brisket recipe up in here as a guest star.
Yes, I do think our audience would enjoy watching us eat delicious foods, particularly Drew.
Drew's a big portion of our audience.
I don't think he's watching. I would guess he's not, but in our hearts he is. So.
Right on. Well, okay, that was what you've been eating. Enjoyable. I'm hungry now. I already had dinner, but I'm hungry again.
Taco
Thanks.
Bell run.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're approaching the end of the podcast. So it is time to wrap this thing up with our final segment and probably the star of the first episode, our lightning round.
And I just got to say, to bring this full circle, it's our shining star, no matter who you are. Shining bright to see.
What we can truly be.
Shining star for you to see. Sorry. Okay.
So this is what it says on the package. It's a lightning round. We're going to shoot each other questions, relatively rapid fire, answer with the first thing that comes to our minds, keep discussions brief, and we're probably just going to do a couple rounds this time. Sound good?
Right. Yeah, to clarify for our audience, I believe last time we did 3 or 4 rounds. We're only going to do 2 rounds this time around.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep saying round.
Yeah. So, I'll start. Round 1 for you, Jake. Let's do this. Giving presents or getting presents?
Giving. I can make unique gifts. Highlight. Remember that one time I got you a gift and I did Portal theme wrapping?
I do remember that. Yes. That was very creative. Yeah. I love creative wrapping. Excellent. If you had a child, would you want them to be the most popular person in their high school?
No.
Awesome. Agreed. Make a high-pitched sound. Good.
Okay.
From 1 to 10, how hot do you like your shower water?
7.
If Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump were both drowning and you could only save one, who would it be?
Okay. I'm going to say an answer, but I want to be clear. It's not because I like him more. I'm just going to pick Donald Trump because he's the president, and it's the president, right? And just, I don't know. I do not like, I just want to be clear. That's like, do you want to chop off your right leg or your left leg? Does it matter? Or
But your left leg is the leader of the country.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's just like almost inherently like it's out of respect, if that makes sense. Even though I don't really respect the guy at all, it's more just half of the country. Well, not half, but you know what I mean. A big portion of the country voted for him. So out of respect for those people, I would save him. How's that sound?
I accept your rationale. Do you like the smell of gasoline?
I don't hate it. I prefer kerosene.
Interesting. All right. Can you touch your toes without bending your knees?
Not even close. Not even close.
I can if I get a running start.
And also break your kneecaps. Got it.
Do you like the name Charlie for a girl?
When they're young, sure. When they get older, not so much.
Do you know the definition of triskaidekaphobia?
No, but I'm guessing it has something to do with Triscuits.
I assume you're right, because I don't know either. Have you ever tasted soap?
Oh, man. If my mother is listening, she knows the answer is yes. Because I definitely have tasted soap more than once in my life for saying inappropriate things as a young man.
I never did. My brothers did. I never did.
There you go. That's the right
That
answer.
was sneaky. If you were given an all-expenses-paid trip to Cleveland, would you take it?
I mean, yes, because my family is so close to Cleveland. But if my family wasn't there, probably not.
Probably not. I certainly wouldn't.
For anyone that hasn't been to Cleveland. Actually, okay, it's gotten a lot better in recent history. It really has.
Mostly, it's just 40 minutes away from me. Every trip I make there is an all-expenses-paid trip.
And believe it or not, there's some pretty good food there. Like, Cleveland has some pretty baller food. It's not known for that, but it definitely does. And good hospitals. Maybe
Also
good,
true.
maybe good hospital food. I don't know.
Couple Hall of Fames there, too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you currently own any stuffed animals?
Oh, absolutely. I still have my childhood stuffed animals. A chipmunk named Squirrel, a lion named Lion, and a monkey named Monkey.
Mm-hmm. I've got a couple lying around. What's the maximum number of spritzes of perfume before it's too much?
I'm going to say
Don't say
3.
depend.
I'm going to say 3. Assuming you're not spraying them in the same spot.
Right in the middle of the forehead every time.
Yes.
That was the last question.
All right.
So,
So, our lightning round 1 for Chris. Are you ready, sir? Tapas or pasta?
pasta. Yes.
Ask permission or beg forgiveness?
Generally speaking, I'm more of an ask permission guy.
Got it. Okay. If the toilet paper roll is really low but not completely out, do you replace it or leave it for someone else?
I leave one on standby.
Nice. It's
Yeah.
the frugal decision right there. How many redheads are you friends with?
One beautiful, mostly redhead, but not a ginger, who I'm married to.
Yes, that is very much the right answer. Uh, what's the type of triangle with 2 equal sides called again?
Um, with 2 equal sides? There's lots. What?
I don't think there is a name for that because it could be so many different things.
Is that an isosceles?
Sure.
I think.
They didn't teach me that in college.
I think it's isosceles.
I'll take your word for it. Next question. What's your favorite carnival food?
Ooh. All of them come to mind. If I have to choose one, the hand-cut French fries with malt vinegar.
I wish I liked vinegar, Chris. I'm sorry. I just can't do it.
That's fair. It is an acquired taste, but it's a strong one.
Yes, it is. Oh, man. I love fair food. It's so bad for you.
Sausage, elephant ears, the
Oh.
funnel cakes, the cotton candy, most of the sugar.
The big sausages with onions and peppers. And oh, it's just delicious. All right. Name a word that starts with the letter Q.
A quail.
Also delicious. Climb a mountain or jump from a plane.
I climb a mountain
Me too.
100,000 times.
Yeah. If you were really hungry, would you eat a bug?
Really hungry? No. On the brink of death? Yes.
Did you go to sleepaway summer camp as a kid?
No.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, no. It's camp. No. I went as a 3-day school field trip once. I don't think that counts as a sleepaway summer camp.
I don't think so. How long can you hold your breath for?
5 minutes! No, probably like 90 seconds. I don't know. I haven't timed myself.
We'll have to do that someday. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm slowing us down. I need to pick up the lightning round. Have you ever seen a kangaroo in person?
At the zoo? Yeah. Yes,
And
I have.
your final question is, when people stand up for a standing ovation, are you usually one of the early people to stand up or one of the later?
Right in the middle. I never start it, but as soon as I see people standing, I'm there with them if I believe it's deserved.
Right. Very good.
Yeah. Fun. Round 2.
Final round.
You ready? Final round. Fight!
Yes. KO.
All right. One more. Monster kill.
Yes. I agree.
Unrelated. What type of milk do you put in your cereal?
2%.
Delicious. Would you rather be besties with Beyonce or Rihanna?
Beyonce? Something about a halo?
That is one of her songs, yes.
Okay.
Oh, was that your answer?
Yeah.
I thought you were questioning. Okay, what's the capital of New York?
New York?
Mm-hmm. Did you ever believe in Santa Claus?
Believe it or not, no, I didn't. My parents did not raise me with Santa Claus, and I'm glad they didn't.
Are dogs people?
Absolutely not.
Agreed. Have you ever been to Africa?
In video games.
Okay. Would you eat a day-old taquito from 7-Eleven?
I'm going to use some foul language. Hell yes, I would. I love gas station taquitos. They are so bad for you and honestly so delicious. Oh, on point for sure.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
like the ranch and cheese, or not ranch, steak and cheese ones. Oh,
Mhm. I like the French toast and sausage breakfast taquitos.
ooh, that sounds great. Oh man, I'm so hungry.
What's the most number of hours you've watched TV in a single day?
Um, honestly, it's. Do you consider movies TV?
Yeah. Watching a TV screen is what I would say.
Okay,
Yeah.
then whatever the length of all the extended edition Lord of the Rings movies is.
I think it's like 14 hours.
Yeah, I think it's actually longer than that. But yeah, whatever that length is, that was probably the longest I've ever done. Extended edition of all the Lord of the Rings movies in a row. I've done that a couple times now because I'm a giant dork.
It's a slog, but they're good. Do you Instagram your food?
I do because I'm a giant hipster.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But it's food I make. It's not just every meal. It's food that I make.
Exactly. It's handcrafted. It's artisan.
Yes.
What sound does a seal make?
I don't really know how to make that sound. What? There you go. That's what
You
you're
keep
getting.
getting the sound effect questions.
Yeah.
Would you rather lose all your hair or gain 50% more hair?
Gain 50% more because contrary to what you see here with the facial hair, I am not actually a very hairy person at all. And this is a very new addition to me.
There you go. Do you have any friends taller than 6'4"?
Yes. Multiple, as a matter of fact.
If there's a spider in your house, do you kill it or set it free?
Totally depends on the situation. Generally speaking, I like to set spiders free. It's not because I'm some big spider lover. It's just because they genuinely help keep the other bugs down. So if I can safely capture it or the cat's not playing with it, I will definitely set it free.
Excellent.
All right.
Nice.
Round number 2 and final round of the entire podcast and final round for Chris. Let's go. We're almost there. What's something you could eat for a week straight?
Pizza.
Would you rather wake up to an air horn blowing in your ear every day or wake up and have to run 4 miles every day?
Well, yeah, I would rather have to run 4 miles. At least I get in shape.
Yeah. Oh, is Jimmy Kimmel funny?
He can be. Not always, but he can be.
Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
More often than not, dark.
That's weird. Next question. I'm just kidding. Say something cool.
We'll be fine.
Yes. Yes. We'll be fine. That is the correct answer. Oh my gosh, what a total awesome righteous moment in video game history. Polka dots or stripes?
Stripes.
Would you go to a movie alone?
Not ideally, but yeah, if I didn't have anything better to do, sure.
What's a country you'd be okay never visiting in your life?
Probably one of the stands.
Okay. Would you rather eat some smoky gnocchi or some delicious fish?
Give me that smoky gnocchi.
Smoky gnocchi. Oh. We should do an entire episode just called Smoky gnocchi. If you were given the opportunity to fly into space, given today's technology, would you take it?
Nope, I would not. Maybe given in 30 years technology, but nope.
Fair enough. For a journal, would you use paper or a computer?
I've done both. Probably a computer.
Okay. Is a human life more valuable than the life of a dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're offending a lot of people, but I agree with you totally.
If you think your dog's life is more important than yours, then you have fun with that relationship, I guess.
And our final question of the podcast. Most embarrassing store you might be seen shopping at?
Well, the only place I ever shop is pretty embarrassing, so I guess Walmart.
Oh, that's not embarrassing. That's just called being frugal.
Yeah, out of necessity. I'm not a person of Walmart. Look at me.
You mean your pants aren't falling off when you go? Or you
Right.
actually wear pants when you go to Walmart?
I've got the majority of my teeth.
Very nice. So, with that, that concludes segment number 6, the lightning round.
Fun, fun, fun. So, in closing, this is episode 2 of our Untitled podcast, and it was a blast. We are still finding a groove, but I think that was fun, right?
Very. And I'm going to shout it out again. I know I've done it multiple times. I'm going to put our feedback form in our Twitch chats. Please, we beg you, if you listened, please take a look at that. Give us feedback, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the things. We want to hear from you. Thank you again for tuning in. And this has been real fun. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Jake.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
See you around.